Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the song Who Coulda Known off the album Solely Termed. I got my FL Studio project open up, so let's dive into it. Who Coulda Known is fairly long and has a couple of complicated parts. This one might be a little longer than the rest of them, but let's just go ahead and dive into it.
Who coulda known? Who coulda known?
So this intro part obviously just builds off of that initial riff that we get from the bass line up there. And during this section, we have this layered vocal that happens after that first hit. So we'll take a look at that really quick.
Who coulda known?
But pretty much exactly the same take there.
Who coulda known? Who coulda known?
Just giving a little variance to it.
Who coulda known? Who coulda known?
There we get our first intro to the lead guitar, which is a Stratocaster. On this song, I ended up using the JHS Unicorn, which is a Univibe, for pretty much the entirety of the song for the lead vocal, or the lead guitar part, excuse me. It's a little bit easier to hear when you solo it out and then during the verse section as well.
Who coulda known?
And then we get our second guitar coming in,
Who coulda known?
which in that case, I believe it's the ES335 playing this. It might be the Strat again. It's a little hard to hear exactly what it is, but the effect that's going on with that is a sample and hold off of the Earthquaker device's spatial delivery. And pretty much that effect is on this rhythm guitar track the entirety of the song.
Who coulda known?
So I'll do one really quick with just the two guitars. But surprisingly, the sample and hold, I think I was able to use it decently in a musical fashion throughout the song. Sometimes when you think of sample and hold, it's kind of like, oh, that's a weird effect. Oh, that's strange. But throughout the song, I kind of try and use it as a rhythmic / melodic element in the song, as opposed to just like, oh, here's something really goofy and wacky.
Who coulda known? When did it happen? Who?
So we get into our kind of verse section. I would consider the Who Coulda Known part more the chorus than this chorded section being our verses here, which you can see the chords laid out up there. And it kind of has this shuffly blues rhythm to it.
When did it happen?
And here you can really hear that Univibe working to overdrive during the more extended portions of it. The overdrive that was used for this is the TS10 setting on the JHS Bonsai. And then if we take a look at our sample and hold, it's hitting the same chords, just extended.
When did it happen?
And it kind of just adds a little bit of layer to those extended chords.
What went missing? Where is it now? Why was it missing? How'd you lose an eyebrow? Who coulda known?
And then we get back into our basically chorus section here. Obviously, the song is basically just asking questions throughout it. And there's a couple of callbacks and call forwards once we get to some of the later verse structures.
Who coulda known?
And then obviously during this verse structure as well, we already have everything built up as opposed to what we have in the beginning where we're building up all the sections of the song.
Who coulda known? Where did they go? When was it done?
And then here you can also see the viola and the vibraphone come in for this set of the verse section.
What do you owe? Who thinks that's fun? What toy?
Here's our first reference to a previous track being Armadillo Pillow.
What tore up your lawn? Why did you let him in? When in the dawn? Where the singularities now? Who coulda known? Who coulda known? Who coulda known?
Here we enter a variation of this chorus section in which you can see it's WT written throughout it, which is which stands for whole tone. So we enter this whole tone structure, which goes into our little bridge or reprieve that happens post this section of the chorus.
Who could have known? Who could have known?
But we pretty much just have all of the instruments doing their exact same parts from earlier, just with this whole tone idea going throughout it.
Who could have known? Who could have known? Who could have known?
And as you can see, it's labeled as a gross section. Ultimately, what this is, and thankfully I labeled it decently on piano, is a couple of augmented chords with extensions on them. And this section has a pretty fun guitar part for both the rhythm and lead sections.
What was going on? Fact or
So we have our rhythm guitar playing this, which once again is still being held by the sample and hold function. So you have that, and then underneath you have this Univibe infused Stratocaster playing these whole tone riffs.
can be fabricated and conditions can be conditioned.
And then the ending of this probably has one of my favorite parts, which is this sample and hold. I just think it sounds very spacey, but works rhythmically.
Who could have known? Who could have known? Who could have known? Who could have known?
During this verse, we allude to the next couple of songs, which will be on the album, which is Waging Away and Don't Let the Guac Turn Brown. So if you listen to the lyrics here, it's kind of alluding to what is about to happen.
Why was he yelling? Where was the shop? What were they selling? When did they stop? When did it turn brown? Why were you selling it? Who did he put down? Where did he sit?
And then we get into our solo section, which if you've seen the backing track video, you'll know is kind of split up into two parts. And you can see it pretty significantly here with this volume change for the viola, vibraphone, and trombone here, which basically just plays this little intro part there. So you can hear the Univibe, once again, working pretty well there. And then the sample and hold, which I think at this point, I might have just turned it back to the regular envelope filter section, just does these little chord hits. And then you can see, just based off the roll here, a lot of the supporting instruments are following pretty much what the piano is doing, with the vibraphone having a little bit of an arpeggio leading into its two-note hits. So the tempo doesn't really change. We go from this kind of laid-back rhythm to this more strict rhythm that's kind of trying to punch forward a little bit more during this section of the song. And you have the vibraphone doing this. Almost reminds me of something like a telegraph or something like that, or a phone going off. Similar to the end of the augmented section, we get this little sting from the sample and hold again. I also have no idea what I was thinking with this, but it's just this absolute destruction of a chord on the piano there.
Who could have known?
And then we end with one more set of the chorus again.
Who could have known? Who could have known?
That was a little behind the scenes of the song Who Could Have Known from Silly Term. Check out the song on your favorite streaming platform or here on YouTube. Give this video a like and subscribe to keep up to date with all Ensemble Incident releases. After all, music can often be an incident.